You might think this video is about convincing people to quit smoking. Sorry to disappoint you, but it's not. I'm actually here to thank you for smoking. When you are young, you pay hefty taxes day after day. By the time you are old, if you even make it that far, you'll end up in the hospital, spending your life savings. You are boosting the economy, advancing medical research, and likely dying young, so you won't hog social resources. In the long history of humanity, few things have had such a rich and comprehensive negative impact on the human body. Every year, 6 million people die from smoking. That's like 2 fully loaded Boeing 747s crashing every hour, filled with men, women, and children. In the 20th century, over 100 million people died from smoking. In the 21st century, it's estimated that around 1 billion will perish because of cigarettes. So what's going on? Why can't humanity shake off this white ghost clinging to our fingertips? The story starts in the early 20th century. Back then, smoking was rare, and lung cancer was practically unheard of. If you had lung cancer then, you'd probably be surrounded by doctors and nurses in awe, maybe even get a disease named after you. The mass popularity of cigarettes owes thanks to endless wars and bloodshed. Smoking became a wartime remedy for anxiety. During World War II, Roosevelt declared tobacco an essential wartime resource, and gave tobacco growers tax exemptions. This move boosted tobacco's image big time. In the 4 years America was involved in the war, tobacco production rose by half. After the war, with media pushing it, smoking became a symbol of status and taste, spreading like wildfire. By the late 1940s, 80% of American men smoked. Cigarettes had entered their golden age. At the same time, lung cancer rates exploded. In 1900, lung cancer made up less than 1% of all cancers. By 1945, it was 20%, and still climbing. But linking smoking to lung cancer wasn't easy. Not all smokers got cancer, and some non-smokers did too. Plus, there were other variables: mustard gas from World War I, air pollution from the Second Industrial Revolution, the 1918 flu pandemic, even dust from newly paved roads, all were suspected causes. Dr. Graham, a thoracic surgeon at Washington University in St. Louis, joked that since nylon stockings and smoking were both trendy, maybe stockings caused lung cancer. His student, Esther Wonder, asked to study the issue. Graham agreed, hoping she'd disprove the smoking cancer link. After all, he was a heavy smoker. But the results shocked him. Wonder surveyed 600 lung cancer patients, and found almost all were heavy smokers. To dig deeper, they built a machine to extract tar from cigarettes. Wonder bought 156 mice, coating 86 of them with tar equivalent to a pack a day, 3 times a week. The rest were left alone. 44% of the tar-coated mice got cancer, and only 10% survived the 20-month experiment. 58% of the untreated mice lived. In 1950, they published their findings in the Journal of the American Medical Association, concluding that a suspected human carcinogen had been proven to cause cancer in lab animals. Graham quit smoking immediately, but it was too late. He died of lung cancer 7 years later. Strangely, the number of smokers kept rising. In the 1950s, U.S. cigarette consumption jumped 20%. Medical researchers were baffled. These honest scientists didn't realize humanity's greatest enemy isn't disease, it's ourselves. As public awareness grew, tobacco giants hired top talent to fight back with 2 strategies. First, they hired Hill & Knowlton, a top PR firm, to handle the media. Second, they created the Tobacco Industry Research Committee to fight science with science. Hill & Knowlton's genius move was the doubt strategy. They didn't outright deny smoking caused disease. They exploited medical uncertainty. In 1953, a full-page ad in 448 newspapers announced the committee's formation, stating that while mouse studies suggested a smoking cancer link, the results weren't conclusive. This was a masterstroke, appearing respectful of science while casting doubt. Weeks later, another ad reassured the public. Research shows lung cancer has many possible causes. No one has proven smoking causes cancer in humans. We believe our products pose no health risk. This PR masterpiece blurred the line between scientific conclusions and early hypotheses, using medical limitations to defend cigarettes. They also stressed it was a statement, not a guarantee, legally bulletproof. With doubts sown, the Tobacco Industry Research Committee muddied the waters further. They hired Dr. Clarence Little, a former head of the American Cancer Society, as their scientific advisor. Little said more research was needed before definitive answers could be given. Translation: science moves slowly, plenty of time to sell cigarettes. Smokers were caught between two versions of science, unsure whom to believe. Cigarette makers noticed rising demand for menthol and filtered cigarettes. Lorillard was the first to act. Since no one knew exactly what in tobacco was harmful, the logical solution was to add filters to ease health concerns. Ironically, they chose asbestos, another potent carcinogen, for their filters. 40 years later, researchers found that at one factory making these filters, 19 of 35 workers had died of cancer. In 1952, Kent Cigarettes launched with a scientific breakthrough: filter, marketed as pure, dust-free, and non-toxic. Their ads claimed science had solved nicotine and tar worries. Other brands followed shamelessly. Parliament boasted 100% smoke filtration, while Lucky Strike dared to call itself the cigarette doctors prefer. Under this propaganda blitz, Americans kept smoking. The average smoker over 16 puffed 4,500 cigarettes a year. But researchers didn't give up. On January 11, 1964, the U.S. Surgeon General released a 150,000-word report, officially linking smoking to lung cancer. Strangely, despite massive media coverage, smoking rates barely budged, and policies stayed lax. Why? Tobacco's political clout rivaled only oil and textiles. In 6 key tobacco states, the industry dominated economically. A third of House seats and a quarter of Senate seats came from these states. Even the White House needed their votes. Oh, and one American Cancer Society board member, a tobacco exec. The turning point came thanks to John Banjaff, a 25-year-old law grad. He invoked the FCC's fairness doctrine, forcing TV stations to air anti-smoking ads. One ad featured coughing cowboys parodying Marlboro ads, and it worked. Cigarette sales plummeted for the first time ever. By January 1971, the last cigarette ad aired on US TV. Anti-smoking groups pushed all 50 states to tighten regulations and sue tobacco companies for healthcare costs. By 2013, only 18% of Americans smoked. But the battle isn't over. Today, 1 billion people still smoke worldwide, 70% in developing countries, a quarter in China. A 2015 study showed lung cancer rates in China are nearly double stomach cancers. The tragedy America lived through is repeating itself. If human morality doesn't improve, no amount of medical progress will break this cycle. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends and family. Thanks a bunch.